Do you see that little orange light in the shape of an engine? Well, that's an engine warning light, and it's driving me absolutely nuts. Essentially, the engine warning light comes on to tell you there's something not quite right in the engine or maybe in the exhaust system. And as far as I'm aware, in VW transporters like this one, it more or less exclusively points to an issue in the exhaust system, or maybe the EGR valve, the exhaust gas recirculation valve, or maybe the DPF, the Diesel Particulate Filter. Now, I've had this T6 Caravaggio high top for about 3 years. It's a 2020 plate and it's done about 40,000 miles. And since I've had it, this warning light has come on no less than 7 or 8 times. And on each occasion, I've taken it to a VW dealer or my local garage, and a diagnostic scan tool has been used to see what the problem was. What it was causing the engine warning light to come on. And on every single occasion, the issue was with the DPF being sooted up, choked up with carbon and whatnot. Now let me explain why. A diesel particulate filter, DPF, is a filter that captures and stores exhaust soot in order to reduce harmful emissions from diesel cars. But because they only have a finite capacity, this trapped soot periodically has to be emptied or burnt off to regenerate the DPF. Now, the vehicle's regeneration process cleanly burns off the excess soot deposited in the filter, reducing the harmful exhaust emissions and helps to prevent the telltale black smoke you see sometimes. You used to see quite a lot from diesel vehicles, particularly when accelerating or when starting up in the cold. Or at least that's the theory, that's what's supposed to happen. Euro 5 exhaust emission legislation introduced in 2009 to help lower car CO2 emissions effectively made DPFs mandatory, and since then all modern diesel cars are fitted with at least one of these devices. Now, like a complete Dumbo, I happily went along with what my VW dealer was telling me. I wasn't apparently driving my T6 hard enough to burn off the soot in the DPF, so it required to be flushed out, to be cleaned out. And of course they were happy to charge me 400 quid a time for the privilege of doing that for me. Fortunately, I had an extended warranty for my T6, and that covered the cost of these flushes. But when I recently wanted to renew the extended warranty, not only had the price gone up from 30 quid a month to 46 quid a month over the 2 years of the warranty, but it no longer covered DPF issues. In short, in addition to the hiked cost of the extended warranty, it would now cost me about 400 quid every time my DPF suited up. Now, as I suggested, I'm not the brightest card in the pack when it comes to mechanical issues. I was occasionally driving my camper in a low gear with high revs to get it heated up so it would burn off the soot. I was putting Reddex DPF cleaner into the diesel, and I was getting these warning lights coming on more regularly. And it didn't take me long to realise that something was at fault. Something was causing the DPF to soot up, or something was preventing the engine from regenerating properly and burning the soot off as it was meant to do. So what was causing the DPF to clog up in the first place? Well, I went along to my local garage where the owner, I have to say, is a bit of a geek when it comes to VWs. He just loves VWs. And he hooked up a diagnostic scan, computerised thingy, which suggested 2 other issues were apparent. The EGR valve wasn't operating properly, and there was an issue with the glow plugs. Now, both issues have a direct effect on the DPF not burning off excess soot. So that sounded positive. The EGR valve, or the exhaust gas recirculation valve, is located between the exhaust and the intake manifolds, and its primary function is to reduce harmful nitrogen oxide emissions. And if it needs cleaned or renewed, it can cause excess soot and particulate matter to be released into the exhaust system, leading to blockages in the DPF. Glow plugs are a wee bit different. If they're faulty, the DPF can be prevented from regenerating, causing the filter to clog up. And I believe the glow plugs are used to increase the temperature of the exhaust gases during the regeneration process. And if they're not working properly, then that's not going to happen. So we discovered two potential reasons why my DPF kept sooting up and why it needed flushed so regularly. First of all, the EGR filter was well and truly stuck and choked up with gunge and carbon. So the guys replaced it. Now, one of the glow plugs needed replaced too, but rather than just replaced one of them, I asked them to replace all four of them. That seems a sensible thing to do. Now, glow plugs aren't particularly expensive, but one of the glow plugs has a pressure sensor on it, and that one is about 10 times the price of the others. So the glow plugs and the ERG filter have been replaced at great cost, and so far, touch wood, everything is going just fine, and I hope it stays that way. However, the OBD scanner, or the On Board Diagnostics scanner that identified the ERG and glow plug faults, really impressed me. I thought it was a fantastic bit of kit. Now, unfortunately, the high-end scanner my garage used was pretty expensive, so I searched around the internet to see what sort of lower-cost scanners were available. And to my delight, I discovered quite a few of them. There's quite a number out there. Now, seeming one of the better ones is made by a company called Kingbolen, and their Ediag Elite scanner looked absolutely ideal for a kind of mechanical numpty like me. Now, the company very kindly offered to send me one to try out and do a video on. And here it is. This is it, the Kingbolen Ediag Elite. Great bit of kit. Now, one of the big complaints you hear, especially from folk of my kind of generation, is the car and van engines are just one big computer nowadays. Now, there may be a lot of truth in that, but the advantage is you can tap into all that computer data, and you can do it reasonably easy by using an OBD scanner. The Ediag Elite can be used for diagnostic scanning via the Ediag app to pinpoint vehicle malfunctions or maybe diagnose vehicle maintenance issues. The Kingbolen Ediag Elite is generally considered a strong, budget-friendly option for do-it-yourself mechanics, offering features like free lifetime updates, bi-directional control, and full system diagnostics through what is a pretty user-friendly interface that appears on your phone. Now, while its performance can be slow at times, and it lacks advanced programming functions found in a lot of higher-end tools, its value for money and ability to perform pretty extensive troubleshooting and maintenance functions makes it a pretty good starting point for beginners or mechanical numpties just like me. And what I also quite like about it is you get a pretty professional diagnostic tool, but you don't need to take out an annual subscription to use it like most OBDs. And you get free updates for the lifetime of the tool. The OBD my garage uses costs well over $1,000, and this Ediag Elite, depending when you buy it, is between 60 and 70 quid. It's basically just a dongle, but by the magic of Bluetooth, it harnesses the computer power and screen of your smartphone via an app. Now, how cool is that? So, once you've connected the scanner and your smartphone by Bluetooth, inserted the scanner into the OBD port on the vehicle, that's usually down below the steering wheel, around about your knee somewhere, and all vehicles have them. You can simply tap where it says VIN scan or VIN scan, and the scanner will start looking for the vehicle identification number of your own particular vehicle. Now, if for any reason at all the scanner can't find the VIN number, you can insert it manually, and you'll find it in your V5 logbook, or maybe in a plate somewhere around about the engine or in the car. Now, this works with about 120 different vehicles, essentially every kind of car made since 1996, including Volkswagen Transporter. So I think we're well covered. Once a vehicle has been found, the scanner will download all the software for all the various systems in your vehicle, the engine, the lights, the brakes, exhaust, everything else. And once that's done, and the software for your vehicle model is loaded up into your iPhone, you can do a health check. So it's scanning, it's coming up with no fault codes, that's good. And you can actually see the scanning process going on, 44%, 50%, 56%. It's fairly rapid actually. It's going through a whole lot of things. You can see scanning the radio system, scanning a navigation system, scanning the telephone. Oh my goodness, upper operating fuel. I don't know what most of these things are, but it just shows you. So there we go. No fault codes. So yeah, that's got to be good. So we can return. And it's prompting me do you want to exit the health report? Yes, we can do that, and we can go on to the other things, but I won't bore you with it all. You can see pretty much how it works, and it's pretty impressive from the point of view if you just want to see what state your vehicle is in before going off on a long journey, or should you just get your garage to check it over. Well, this can actually check it over for you and see if there's any outstanding issues, and I think that's a pretty good thing. And it's here that the scanner will throw up any issues in the way of faults, and they're known as DTCs, or diagnostic trouble codes. And you can check the DTC, find out any part codes or numbers that's relevant, and you can even, if you're online, hook up to Google and get a list of online reports or YouTube videos that tell you more about the fault issue. And if you're lucky, there might even be a video showing how you can fix it. How good is that? Now, as I've mentioned several times, I'm not a car mechanic. And I can't see me using this scanner for any more than the basics, just as I've just outlined. But someone with more than a passing acquaintance with car engines and electronics and whatnot will be able to use this OBD scanner to a much, much greater degree than me. It doesn't have all the capability of an OBD scanner that costs well over $1,000 or even a few grand in some cases. But hey, this only costs about 60 or 70 quid. So you can't expect the moon and the stars as well. For me, it's all about finding out why the engine warning light comes on, and hopefully, saving me a lot of worry, the kind of worry you get between the light coming on when you notice it coming on your dashboard and eventually seeing a qualified mechanic, and that might be a few days or whatever. It can be a worrying time. And also give me a basic idea if I should carry on driving the vehicle or not. Bearing in mind that you don't know what the fault is until you check it out. So the Kingbolen Ediag Elite is a good choice for individuals with little mechanical knowledge because it offers user-friendly smartphone-based diagnostics. It reads codes from the entire vehicle systems, and it provides actionable insights for maintenance services. Its Bluetooth connectivity simplifies the whole connection process, and its features like oil reset and BMS reset can guide users through some, pretty common maintenance tasks. I think to summarise it, here's what this OBD scanner can do for you. First of all, It identifies the issues by reading fault codes from various vehicle modules. It can then perform common maintenance tasks like oil and brake resets. It can understand the overall health of your vehicle's different systems. It diagnoses issues before they become major problems. And of course that helps you avoid costly repairs in the long run. And for 60 quid or 70 quid, you virtually have a qualified mechanic living in the glove compartment of your camper van, giving you, hopefully, some peace of mind when that dreaded engine warning light appears on your dashboard. I'll put all the details of the Kingbolen Ediag Elite down below, but I would advise you to search around the internet for best prices. I've seen a range of prices between 60 and 80 pounds, so it's worthwhile having a look around. So if you found this video at all useful, please consider subscribing to the channel. It'd be great to have you on board. If you will, hit that like button, that helps a lot. And I hope you'll maybe join me again next time round. But for now, stay safe, enjoy your camper van, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye for now.